I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drum's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soared into the light.
Hello. It's been a while, and it's been a while flying this amazing aircraft. So we're back to Fenix A319, and today I'm going to take this beauty. Look at that. It's one of my favorite paint jobs of all time. Scandinavian Airlines Retro. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. How can you not like this plane? It's beautiful. This is a Airbus A319 equipped with IAE engines, so the consortium where Rolls-Royce belongs to still don't get the overpressure indicator. Usually when the X is not there, it doesn't means some trouble in that fuel tank. Just doing our normal inspections. The IAE engine looks very different from the CFM, as you can see. It's elongated nacelle, but same performance. Well, not exactly the same. There are some differences in terms of engine spooling and thrust. It's actually a more powerful engine than the CFM, but it takes a bit longer to get there. So we're just making our regular inspections. We're looking into these. This is the I always miss the name of this. This is the attitude indicator vane. This is the static ports. I'll make sure that they're not obstructed or dirty, or so the oxygen is green. Doesn't look like it, but it is green. It's hard to see it with this color. And we got these sensors as well as the pitot tubes, these little tubes here. So we're basically looking into our aircraft, making sure everything is fine and dandy. Parking brakes are set. Let's go over this side. Same inspection. Basically looking for fuel leaks or hydraulic leaks. Either of those would be very bad. We're also looking into like open panels like these, making sure that if they're open, to close them. Like this one I'm having, ooh, what happened there? Trying to, oh, this is odd. I want to close this, please. There you go. Same thing on this right engine, so just making sure the blades are all accounted for, no missing blades, no dents, no quirks. Engine could be cleaner, but no big deal. Dirt is charisma, right? So we're looking for leaks, for open panels, like I said. There are, of course, some panels that will be opened by maintenance. That's the aft cargo control panel there. Always looking for the flap. This is the famous APU flap. It's closed right now. APU exhaust. I was looking in some bulletins the other day about the way that APU may leak. It's actually condensed water or condensed vapor or humidity, and you need to be careful because when it starts up, if there's a buildup up there, it's gonna like emit some vapors. All right, so we're in Lisbon Airport. Today we'll be taking this amazing airplane back to its homeland in Denmark, and we're going to a very cute little airport called Arhus, and that's the way you pronounce it, by the way, Arhus. And I've been there in real life, and I found the airport really, really cool. It's a small airport in the northern side of northeast side of Denmark, and Aarhus is called the biggest small town in the world. That's a joke, but it is really a small town, but it's really big. So it's a paradox, but it is beautiful, and we're taking this amazing aircraft there for your viewing pleasure today. So this flight will not be a big flight, but it will still take about 2 hours or so. But of course we'll time accelerate to make sure that we get there on time. So let's go in. Teleported. There we go. Guess who's with us? That's right. Betsy is home. Well, in the cockpit at least. So let's begin our usual checklists. I'm picking up my checklists, written checklists here. No longer taking that electronic format because it's very incomplete. So let's take the plane. Let's accept the plane. This is the acceptance after the walk around, of course. This is performed by... Ooh. Our radar isn't up? Really? We need to... Oh, the tilt is. All right. After performing the external inspection, then we can make the cockpit pre-flight, and this is basically an acceptance checklist to see if everything's fine and dandy. So the parking brake is set right there. Flaps are up. The spoilers are retracted and disarmed. Weather radar is off. It's in the middle position here for the system. Predictive wind shear is off. We got engine masters both set to off and engine mode selector set to norm. Thrust levers are on idle. Gear is down. We just saw it touching the ground outside. And the wipers are off. So cockpit pre-flight checklist complete. So let's bring the plane to life. So first the two main batteries. And there we go. And now the external power connected. Cockpit preparation battery 1 and 2 are on. External power is on. Accumulator brakes pressure. Let's take a look at it. In the meantime, let's call We need to set up this side here first. Let's import our flight plan. We're probably going to be late. Actually, no, we are 6 minutes, so we are going to be late, but not yet. So let's load the aircraft using GSX and boarding only. Let's inject the fuel instantly. There you go. So now all it takes is that
Boarding requested.
boarding requested. Here comes the jetway. All right. There's always a smoke detection fault during this startup procedure. Not entirely sure why. It will go away in a moment. Cockpit lights as required. We'll mess into that in a moment. Instrument display brightness the same. APU fire test. Let's go make some noise. There it is. APU fire. You see the smoke detection has moved away from our ECAM. So cruise supply to on. That's the oxygen cruise supply. Set to on. Ground control, of course, to on. They're already moving outside, so it's already on. Let's do a CVR test. I'm not sure this plane does a CVR test, but we'll, where is it? It's over there. Yeah, I don't think these buttons are working. Any of these. I need to take a good look at that. Stand by. Not this one, not this one. There we go. So where is the CVR on this poor plane? CVR stands for cockpit voice recorder. We perform a test to see if the system is recording. That's the cockpit door. That's the ELT up there. I'm looking up on the overhead panel. And that's the toilet loud. That's definitely not it. So usually the CVR is situated over here, but not all planes do have that. So this is the microphone for the CVR. Usually the testing switch will be somewhere in this vicinity, unless I'm not looking in the right location. This is the problem when you fly multiple planes. you don't really get to memorize stuff that well, because you're always memorizing. If you try to memorize one plane, you'll get the others confused. So let's skip that for now. Hey dear, set to 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, 3. Oops, there it goes. External lights. So we are going to turn on wing and nav logo. Also going to set strobe to auto. Set no smoking portable devices. So let's do that just now. And arm the emergency lights. Emergency lights arm, annunciator lights. Where is that? All right, here we go. All bright. Looks like a Christmas tree. I need to turn on my track IR so you can look down. There it goes. So it looks like it's Christmas tree. Same here. Nice. Tested. Alright, so that download over there is actually pretty important, because today Unibuilds launched an update for the A340, so expect an A340 flight soon. Hello, Mirsha! I already said hello to Andrew, but I'm going to say it again. Nice to see you both, guys. Thanks for coming. I'm prepping the flight. AC temperatures, we'll check that in a moment. In-cam page set to electrical, so let's go back to normal view. So let's set electrical to ECAM page. And now let's turn off the battery 1. Battery 1 off. And it's off, but it's still got DC and 28 volts on both tiers. And now let's do the exact same on the other side. Oops, kind of quick that one. So battery 2 off, and we are still on both tiers. So this is like a backup system. So while the system is using external power, of course we need to check if the batteries are being charged. So they are both being charged. This is complete. Let's carry on with our tests. Program window heat to auto, and they're both to, oops, sorry, they're both to auto. So this is the system right here. So the logic on Airbus, if you guys are not aware, is that if this light is off, it means that the function on the side is active. So this, in this case, the button is not lit, so it's on auto. If I press it, I'm forcing the system to turn on the system. If it's on, it's now on auto, so it means if it detects low temperatures, it will automatically turn it on. Pretty neat. Some planes also have the detection for ice in the wings and engine, so if not, then we can just turn it on if the outside temperature is below the ISA. So let's skip the APU for now. AC temperature is required. Ecam patch set to, oh, we already did this, so fuel pumps to on. Bang, 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 and bang. And let's perform an engine fire test, and let's make some noise. Number 1. Engine 1 fire, Ecam status and light for the bottle discharge. Test number 2, same thing, so fire detection. Fire engine 2, Ecam status, master warning. Both tests are done. Flight directors 1 and 2 are both turned on. Barrel reference, let's listen to ATIS. Let's bring our trusted beyond ATC frequency for Lisbon.
H1014, landing and departing runway 02, transition level 040, bird activity in vicinity of airport, advise on initial contact.
Bird activity, nice. We got Alpha.
Lisbon Airport, information Alpha, 18050 Zulu, wind 325 at 8, ceiling and visibility okay, temperature 2.13, TUNH 1014, landing and departing runway 02, transition level 040, bird activity in vicinity of airport, advise on initial contact, you have information Alpha.
Alright, so we got QNH 1014. So F is constrained to on, and we are going to be in Arc 10, done, on both sides. So Betsy can do it on her own. Let's turn on our assistances. Alright, so speed, we're going to set up our plane now. So for the FCU, we'll get back to that. So with the initial climb will be the transition altitude 4,000 feet. The radio has been set up, MCU data, we're going to check that now. Let's quiet our little friend here. So let's go to 82, AOC. Flight initiation. So let's wait for this to be populated. Oh, this isn't. Sorry, this isn't here. FS Labs. So let's go to the OFP. And we got SAS flight 745.
Ground 121.755 when ready for pushback by engine start. Portugal 64.
Oops, not SAN, but SAS. My bad. SAS 745. We are going to depart Lisbon. Well, we don't really need to fill this in. Let's just request it. This will import from our Simbrief. There it is. Lisbon to Arhus. And I believe this is Copenhagen. Our expected time of flight is 3 hours, but we'll decrease that by a long while. It's good to have you guys. Thank you for coming as usual. So let's request a flight plan. Bit different from what we need to do in the Flight Sim Labs aircraft, because we need to fill this in. So we'll see. So we got SAS, and we need to fill this in before requesting 745, correct? Yeah, before requesting CPDLC, or otherwise it will fail. We got a cost index of 60. Oh. Performance today. And we're going to have a flight level of 380. 380 flight, okay. And now let's go back to No, this is not the correct menu. Let's go back to Itsu. AOC again. And now, I believe we got everything. Well, let's request some weather for Lisbon for now. Hello, Jose. Welcome. Glad to have you. So let's request meter and TAF send. All right. And now we are going to request ATC pre-departure clearance. So we are at gate 116, pretty big. 116. And we are going to, well, we have Alpha, and station was going to be Lisbon Station. I believe we got everything. And send. Well, let's wait for the ATC to reply. We're requesting pre-departure clearance so that we can go in and fill in our MCDU. Takes a moment. This publicity is outdated. Now it's Revolut sponsoring the gates at Lisbon. So this is our beautiful Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A319. Brilliant texture. Taking their sweet time. Did I miss something? Could have missed something. SAS 745. Oh, there it is. Where's the call? No warning call? At least we got it. Right, ATC message received, so let's take a look. So we are cleared for Arhus runway 02 in use. Departure via exit 1 November squawk 2145. Let's set that up right away. 2145 before I forget, because I usually do. Alright, we'll comply and send. If unable, revert to voice, and we'll be ready to call ground at 121755. Alright, so we got nav accuracy upgraded. Do we have passengers boarded? Because I didn't hear it boarding. Yeah, it's not been done yet. Why? Why? It says boarding passengers, but no passengers have boarded. GSX is not in his right, not really working correctly these days. Alright, so now we got the warning. Means that we got a new message. Request status clearance confirmed, caller ID. So let's go back here. Let's bring the other one. Alright. So we need flight plan, runway 02. This means we'll see our good friend Jose in this spot. And we are going to take exit 1 November. There it is. This is a very standard departure for Lisbon. Alright, so we got everything set up except for those pesky passengers that decided to arrive late. Whoa, look at that. Something fishy with those textures there. Yeah, GSX really needs to get their crap together. Look at that. It's glitchy. Let's not even look at that because I don't like to see glitch. Takes me off. So MCDU is set up, RedNav is also set up, IFR clearance has been received, IRS aligned has been confirmed, it's already aligned. EFIs to navgates are set and on. Takeoff briefing. What do you say, Betsy? Want to talk with me today? Look at that. She even turns her head. And the squawk is set. So cockpit preparation checks complete. We're just going to wait for the passengers to load in. So it's going to take a moment. Let's see if the passengers are also glitched.
Hello.
Well, aside from the fact that they merge between themselves. Yeah, they're glitchy as well. Look at that. If that guy's pulling his head. Well, let's leave it open for now. So, at this rate, we are still gonna need a few more minutes. We're already 9 minutes behind. Yeah, the spotter is there. This spotter is always there. It's not like Jose. Sometimes Jose even goes on vacation. The nerve. This one does not go on vacation. What do you guys think? You guys like this livery? What do you guys think? I really love retro liveries, but this one's really cool. I really like this livery. What do you guys think? Is it approved? Not much activity at Lisbon during this time. The nerve, Jose, the nerve to go on vacations. Yeah, this is all messed up. Oh. There's some glitch going on here. This is everything you see and the passengers disappear. Look at that. They sit down and they disappear. There's something really bad going on with GSX in these last few weeks because this is recurrent. I've seen this multiple times. And if we go back, let me show it to you. And if we go back and we move around, sometimes they show up. Let's see if I can trigger that. So they'll pretend to sit, but they'll disappear, alright? But then if you do something, what was it? I did the other day on the Builds plane. If you do move around the cabin, they sometimes show up again. It's a mess. And well, it's what you get. It's what you see is what you get. Let's close the door. Let's carry on. So the passengers are almost all loaded in. We're going to take 90 plus passengers today. So master switch, pre-start checklist, APU master to on. After 3 seconds, APU to start. In the meantime, let's load our charts. So it's going to be IXIDA 92 and 2 November. So let's see if it's got it set up here. IXIDA. Alright, there we go. Pretty standard departure to the northeast. Oops, sorry about that. It was my track IR moving around. Alright, so we are almost done. Just waiting for the passengers. Only 3 passengers remaining. It's nice, isn't it, Misha? Alright, APU available. Alright, so we can disconnect the external power. We can also disconnect the ground control. Ground control to Major Tom. So we're gonna need to wait to sync the load sheet for the definitive. There it is. There's final sync weather. So we got V1 144, VR 144, V2 148, flaps up 0.9 trim. Let's send this to the MCDU so we can hear the doors closing in the background. That's the cargo doors. So let's send the weights to the MCDU. Let's confirm that. 50 tons, 0.9, 29 tons, 29%, 0.5, and block 10.3. That's it. We are good to go. So let's disconnect the GPU and let's prep the flight to leave. So we are going to turn on the beacon lights, and I believe this is enough. There she is. Our gate agent. Everything is set. So MCD weights and takeoff performance are checked. V speeds are confirmed. APU bleed and external APU bleed on, external power off. Seatbelt signs to on and air conditioning as required. So both packs are currently working. Let's go for the pushback and start up. Windows in, cockpit doors. Windows are both closed. Red band, cockpit door is closed. Let's lock it, by the way.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin
Fuel
inserted.
pumps are on. Beacon is on. Steering pin is inserted. Transponder set to auto. TARA. TCAS, well, it says here to stand by, but we'll move it. Clock to run. And let's
Locking gear.
It's locking the gear. Let's go beyond ATC and let's request push start on the ground frequency.
Scandinavian 745, gate 116, request pushback.
Scandinavian 745, Lisbon ground, pushback approved. Face south.
Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Scandinavian 745.
Right, GSX. Have us face south, please. So south is to our left, so nose right, tail. No. Oh my, I always get bugged with this. Nose left, no, nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes have been released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Starting one. Here we go. The IAE engine takes a little longer to launch compared to the CFM engine. There it goes. Let's take a look outside.
Ramp 601 by uniform 5.
Only one wing walker. Oh, the other one's here. The other one is a little slow. I bet I know who this is, right? Jose, we both know who this guy is. You can see that the nose wheel doesn't turn. That's a known issue. Well, as long as it works, right?
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes have been set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
We'll go. Let's start number 2. I'm gonna change my checklists here. It's a paper checklist. I prefer now to just have something tangible in my hand. So number 2 is also going to take its sweet time. Let's call these guys and say good engine start, because
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
usually in real life you don't do that. You really need to wait for those engines to start, because you might need to get back to the gate if there's an issue. And yeah, they should have pushed us a little more backwards, but fine. Alright, engine 2 is on.
Unlocking gear.
Before taxi checklist, auto brake to max, spoilers to armed, flaps set for takeoff, it's flaps 1, let's set it here, flaps 1 set for takeoff. Engine NTI is not required, flight controls,
Bypass pin removed.
full deflect, oh, let's set back, switch
Left
to
is
normal.
clear. right is clear.
Full deflection left, neutral. Full deflection right, in neutral. Full pitch up, neutral. Full pitch down, neutral. Full rudder left, neutral. Full rudder light, neutral. Flight controls checked. Rudder trim pressed to reset. Steering pin has been removed. There she is, there she goes. So let's request taxi.
Scandinavian 745.
Before taxi checklist
request
complete.
taxi.
Scandinavian 745, runway 02, taxi via Alpha 2, Mike 1, Mike 2, Mike 3, Mike 4.
Alright, so let's go Alpha 2, right hand
taxi
turn,
via
and
Alpha
then
2, Mike 1, Mike 2, Mike 3, Mike 4 Delta.
I know
November
this
2,
airport like the back of
745.
my hand almost. So let's make a right hand turn right up ahead. Alright, taxi checklist, taxi light to on, external, runway turn off lights, strobes to auto already set, parking brake is going to be off, and takeoff check. We'll take a good look at that. Let's go. We can take this away. Alright, who's gonna bet that Jose is still there? Hmm? Who wants to bet that? Cabin's ready. We got a company message there. That's the final load sheet. No need to go through that right now. I'll delete the message in a moment. So Betsy is with us today. It's always nice. Sometimes she is, and sometimes she isn't. Alright, so ECAM status, now we have it. Test normal. Cabin's already called in to say they're ready. There's some Ryanair planes there, as usual, in this terminal here. Actually, this terminal was developed for regional flights back in the day, but it turned out that low cost just took over, as they do in a lot of airports. It's arguable if low costs are the most flown airplanes right now in the world. I would say it is. Are you ready, Jose? Before takeoff checklist will be performed in a moment, so we go to November 2 or Mike 5?
Scandinavian
November 2.
745, contact Lisbon Tower 118.105.
Over to Tower 118.105, Scandinavian 745.
Alright, let's stop here at the Cat 1 holding. There's no planes incoming. This is the November 2 holding point. Alright, here we go. Let's break here. Let's see if I can find Jose. I wanna give him an hello. Are you there, Jose? There he is. There's the multipla. He's right there. Hi, Jose. And bye. Let's not leave the window open, because we all know what happens. Alrighty. Alright, we're ready. Let's call it in.
Scandinavian 745, ready to go, runway 02.
Scandinavian 745 Lisbon Tower, wind 325 at 8, runway 02 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 02
Before
cleared
takeoff
for
checklist, cabin
Scandinavian
crew notify.
745.
External lights. Let's run runway preparation. Let's go in. NTI is not required. Packs are on. TCAS TARA set. weather radar to system 1 and predictive wind shear to auto. Takeoff memo no blue. Before takeoff checklist complete. Alright, here we go guys. Hope you guys are ready. 50%. Man set flex 79 SRS runway. Airspeed alive.
All aircraft please advised information Bravo now current QNH 1014.
Love the IAE engine sounds. 80 knots. Plane's heavy. $120. V1. Rotate. Positive rate gear up. Ooh, flight director is dancing around.
Scandinavian 745, contact Lisbon departure 119.105.
Contact Lisbon departure 119.105.
Bye, Lisbon.
745. Lisbon departure, Scandinavian 745, 1,700 feet.
Scandinavian 745, Lisbon departure, identified, climb to flight level 190.
There we go.
Flight level 190,
Thrust to climb.
Scandinavian 745.
Climb nav, alt to armed. Speed check, flaps. Not yet. Speed check, flaps up, now it's the time. Autopilot 1, engage. Climb to flight level 190. That's what he said, right? Yeah, correct. After takeoff checklist, gear is up, flaps retracted, spoilers disarmed. Thrust is set to climb, autopilot as required, nose wheel lights, and no, runway turn off lights off after takeoff checklist complete. I'll clear the company messages in a moment, I just want to monitor the climb. QNH set to standard. Passing the transition altitude at 4,000 feet, we start talking about flight levels instead of feet. We still don't need anti-ice, so we're probably good for the rest of the flight. We're following this, well, let's zoom that in, it's too small. So we're going all the way to this waypoint Ixida. We maintain our landing lights up to 10,000 feet. Very mild weather today. Well, I need to check because the last time I had mild weather in Lisbon, my active sky crashed, and I didn't even get a notification. It just crashed. We can close these messages here. No longer required. Alright, 10,000 feet. The plane will accelerate. Confirmed. external lights off. Well, landing lights off. Climb checklist. Barrel reference has been set standard. NTI is not required. EFIS as required. Weather radar is as required. The tilt is a knob anyway. Above 10,000 feet checklist. Landing lights off. Wing lights to off. And seatbelt signs as required. Climb checklist complete. Alright, so we are, let me turn off my track IR so I don't move my head everywhere I move my head. You guys will see like either the seat or Betsy. It's not like Betsy's ugly, she's pretty, but she's also very non-talkative, as everybody that's been in my... Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah. You're wearing sunglasses at night. That's how you hate me. How much you hate me. You have these old David Clark headsets. Don't you look away from me? Yeah, Betsy.
Departure, Air Portugal 574, 1,700 feet.
Air Portugal 574, Lisbon departure.
Alright, let's clear that message then. So we got a company message written there. That's probably our... I should have put this page in performance while takeoff. That was my bad. So it's going to be our load sheet. For sure. There it is. So load sheet, preliminary load sheet. And we can accept, of course, no point in not accepting the weather data. So we got a METAR and the TAF for Lisbon. And as you can see, once more, it's outdated. Well, actually, no, it's system time, it's not Zulu time. Yeah, that's Zulu time. Pre-departure clearance has been requested and received. We got that message here. And we have our final load sheet. So, yeah, we can confirm it was 50.9. And we had 96, so 95 plus 1. Usually the plus 1 are children, if I'm not mistaken. So, alright, so company message has been cleared. That's what we wanted. Let's carry on. We're probably going to need an ADC for our delay for today, but we'll see.
Scandinavian 745, contact Lisbon Center 119.55. Have a good afternoon.
Center on 119.55.
We're still exiting
745.
to Exeter.
Lisbon Center, Scandinavian 745.
Probably going to get our
Exit
final
flight level 166 for flight
altitude
level 190
clearance.
direct Exeter.
Scandinavian 745.
There it is.
Radar contact, climb to flight level 380.
380.
Climb to flight level 380, Scandinavian 745.
There we go. So let's start accelerating time, because today's flight is going to be lengthy, especially for an A319.
Center on 118.275, Ryanair 3 uniform Mike.
So we're at Mach 0.3 or 3.0, something like that. We're flying direct to Exeter. So everybody watching, thank you all for coming. Thank you for your like and your subscription. If you guys want to help the channel further, on your upper right screen you got a QR code for buy me a coffee. There's also a link in the description and also a pinned message on the chat, just in case you require a link instead of the QR code, because I've been told that not a lot of people like QR codes, and I totally understand. It's alright. So there's a link in the description as well as in the chat. I have to thank everybody that's already subscribed and also donated. It's really appreciated. Actually, my friends here, Mirsha, Jose, and Andrew, have already made some very fine donations, which I thank you guys. It helps the channel. It helped me buy the A340, actually. So the A340 was partially financed by you guys, and I have to thank you for that. It helped me purchase it. It helps because, you know, these things can be very expensive, these add-ons. And a lot of people ask me for scenery as well, like, go fly that airport or that destination. I need the airports, otherwise it's going to be a boring landing on some default airport. So in that regard, anything helps. Alright, so we're just exiting Ixida. Actually, we already exited Ixida, so let's go back to the main map so we can see where we are right now, and we can set it up like so. Arhus is a very interesting airport, as you will see. Actually, there's two A's in Arhus. I might need to edit this description video here. When I was there, it was a very long time ago. If you guys want like a peaceful destination that's outside of the buzz of Copenhagen, which is very busy city, Aarhus is one of the best destinations. And let me tell you, I love Denmark. From all the countries in the so-called Nordics, I think Denmark is my something. There was an abrupt cabin pressure there for a moment. It triggered a lower ECAM. Is there something wrong with the pressurization system? So it's set on auto. This is always something to look out. Be very careful always to take a good look at these ECAM pages. Check the status, nothing. So there was an abrupt change in the pressurization system. As you saw, the vertical speed was too high for a moment there. Not entirely sure what happened, but if there's a depressurization, there will be an ECAM warning here, and the immediate it's probably because of our sim rate here. And if you do have a depressurization or overpressure, you know, any pressurization issue, hand it off to Madrid. If you, like I was saying, if you have any emergency related to pressurization, the first step is to descend below 10,000 feet. So the first thing you need to do is start descending and call ATC. Remember, aviate, navigate, communicate. So the first thing you need to do is just move the plane to below 10,000 feet as fast as you can. Let's just reset our sim right here because it's having trouble keeping the altitude here. Let's just have him stabilize, and then we'll resume 4 times speed. So like I was saying, if there's a pressurization like it happened here, always start descending the plane below 10,000 feet and contact ATC after you perform the necessary maneuvers. There's no time to lose. Once you go beyond, let's say we have a pressurization at 38,000 feet, there's really little time to prevent the worst, if you know what I mean. If all those people back there, they're supplied with emergency oxygen masks, but that doesn't last for long. Some say it will last only for 15 minutes, others say half an hour. I think it depends on the system, whether the planes are old or new. Whatever happens, you have about 10 minutes in general to make this plane descend as fast as you can without, you know, preventing any malfunctions. And after that, after you start maneuvering to descend, then call ATC. That's the correct order. All right, let's go try set it back to the 4 times. All right, welcome back, Mirsha. So like I was saying earlier, we are going to have the next flight will probably be the A340. I don't like to make predictions because I usually fail, but I believe the next flight will be with the 40 because today we had a major update for the A340 from by any builds. So I'm really looking forward to go back in to see if some of the issues we keep finding are resolved. It would be the third flight I make for this channel with the 40, and from the first to the second, the first was kind of buggy because of GSX mostly, but you see today how GSX is bugged. Let's see if the passengers are sitting. No, see, this used to work so well. There's a trigger here, so when the planes this is because we're 4 times the speed. See, it was almost instantaneously resolved. It's because we're going at 4 times the speed. So I'm going to make a left-hand turn now north, and then we'll be out of Spain to France, well, to the Bay of Biscay, and then to France, going through the northern side of Europe and then Denmark. So it's not going to, I mean, it's a long flight for an A319, but it's not at all a long flight in general. So, guys, I'm going to take a small break now. It's going to take a while to get to our destination, and I'm very, very hungry. So if you don't mind, I'll be here. So if you guys want to talk, please do comment on the chat, anything you would like to ask, and I'll reply as soon as I can. But I'll hear. Be right back.
Europa 29 Papa Tango, Madrid Center. Expect Barco to Quebec. Runway 01.
Expect Barco to Quebec. Runway 01 Europa 29 Papa Tango.
Europa 24 Foxtrot Alpha. Contact Lisbon Center 119.55.
Contact Lisbon Center 119.55 Europa 24 Foxtrot Alpha.
just had another TCAS warning, as you saw. Clear conflict. It will happen when you're accelerating time. Beyond ATC injecting traffic will not be able to clear traffic fast enough ahead, so these things will happen. Let's reduce a little bit our floodlight as well as the integrated. Oh, let's leave the integrated as is. It's just reducing the glare a little bit. There's not much to see out there. It's a moonless night, so it's pretty dark. And while we're flying over the ocean, as we are right now, North Atlantic, it will not be that bright. I'm still on the break. I just came back here to say hello to Santi. Hello Santi, bem-vindo. Boas noites.
Control 123.75, Scandinavian 745. Breast control, Scandinavian 745. Good evening, flight level 379er. Scandinavian 745, breast control, radar contact.
Ora bem, deixa lá ver, Santi, o que é que dizes aqui. Quando eu coloco o plano de voo no MCDU, o avião já do jogo, o A320 depois fica com uma discontinuity. Flight plan discontinuity, sendo que me aparece TU e depois da decolagem. Ok, a descontinuidade, Santi, acontece porque há uma incongruência entre, ou melhor, vamos lá pôr isto em português suave, que é para não ser muito. Vou mostrar aqui uma descontinuidade já perto do final. Pode acontecer no início ou no final, estás a ver? O que é que isso significa? Que entre o aeroporto Arhus e este último waypoint, que é Lutus, não há uma ligação direta. E não podes voar diretamente aqui para aqui. Se tu quiseres, mesmo tirar esta descontinuidade, podes fazer clear e depois carregas aqui neste botão e vai limpar, mas não é isso que se pretende aqui. Isto é uma forma do teu MCDU te explicar que falta aqui um bocado da rota para chegar a EK, ok? A mesma coisa acontece nas partidas, quando um voo tem vetor de saída, ou seja, quando não há uma SID, e geralmente há radar vector, ou seja, vetores de radar. Quando sais, por exemplo, no aeroporto não é controlado, ou quando tens não é não ser controlado, o aeroporto em si não tem procedimentos de partida, ok? Geralmente aparece-te uma coisa qualquer como o aeroporto, depois uma indicação ou por exemplo pode ser do top of climb ou algo do género, TD, ATC, e depois a seguir aparece uma descontinuidade. Porquê? Porque tens que receber vetores para o próximo waypoint. Só depois de estares vetorizado para esse waypoint é que podes tirar a descontinuidade. Aqui, para limpar esta descontinuidade, eu vou aqui ao meu OFP, vou aqui ao routing e vou ver qual é o destino. Portanto, estás a ver o Lutus, depois diz aqui DCT EK28L. Significa que para aterrar na pista 28 eu não tenho um procedimento, tenho um DCT, Direct to. Isto só pode ser limpo quando eu chegar a Lutus. Eu devo receber vetores de radar para chegar à pista 28L, e quando chegar à pista 28L o que eu vou fazer é um Direct to, ok? Vamos aqui pôr já esta pista, Arrival, Runway 28L, estás a ver? E agora repara, eu tenho aqui vias, e como estas vias correspondem à carta, eu vou aqui à carta, vou ver o que aquela carta me diz para Arhus. Afinal o aeroporto alternativo é Castrop. Aqui é o aeroporto em si e é só o ILS. Repara que não tem seeds. A gente vai aqui Approach e é só ILS. Tens RNPs, ok? Mas, e 2 NDBs, mas nenhuma delas corresponde à pista que nós queremos. Ou melhor, corresponde a 28L. Tens aqui um RNP para 28L, mas provavelmente vamos receber vetores para ILS. Está a ver o que é que está a passar. Portanto, o que a gente vai precisar é vetores para chegarmos aqui a este ponto. Aliás, aqui a um destes pontos. Pode ser Dessom, Urupa ou Ibeco, que é exatamente isto que nós temos aqui. Como é que é? Como é que se chama? Dessom, Urupa ou Ibeco. Ibadut, está aqui deste lado. Aqui é um dos tier points, provavelmente quem vem do sul, não sei se será o nosso caso, mas pronto. Se eu agora quiser limpar aquela descontinuidade que não vou limpar, eu posso escolher, por exemplo, Badut. Se agora voltar ao plano de voo, repara, já desapareceu a descontinuidade, ok? Eu não vou fazer isso porquê? Porque eu vou receber vetores de descontinuidade. Isto é depois para Castrop, uma descontinuidade entre o aeroporto em si e depois para Castrop. Mas se eu quiser agora posso chegar aqui e posso até colocar aqui um novo fixo, mas não é isso que eu vou fazer agora. A ideia é, no fundo, é aquilo que está ali é um lembrete de que tu precisas fazer alguma coisa entre a rota que está definida e o destino, ou ao contrário, pode ser da partida para a rota em si. Essa descontinuidade pode ser limpa com clear, ou podes simplesmente acrescentar ao plano de voo a seed ou a star que tiver atribuída. Neste caso não há uma star, por exemplo, eu vou ter que receber vetores de radar, e então nesse caso passas a ter que fazer as coisas à mão, é um bocado assim. We got a company message here, so let's go to Eitsu, probably an ADC, we'll see. Receive messages, SAS Ops, and there it is, send ADC for 16 minutes, alright. Maybe we can gain some time in flight. Sometimes we can with some tailwind. So the ATC code, I don't know, 777. I just like the number. And 16 minutes. The delay code belongs to company SOPs, so only the company SOPs will have this, and you can even enter some free text here. It doesn't matter. Hello. Alright, let's send. And it's sent. Now we should get an ADC reply with ADC received. There it is. Just arrived. ADC received. If there was an issue, like an error, we would need to reset. It would tell us that the ADC does not correspond or something on that regard, and we would need to redo the ADC. Alright, let's go back to our flight plan. There we go. Flying over France now. and we will be flying over France. Then it's going to be, I believe this is the Netherlands, and then all back to the North Atlantic, all the way to Arhus. As you can see, this is Copenhagen, the capital city, and Arhus is right there on that dip on the northeastern side of, well, central northeastern side of Denmark.
24.8 Scandinavian 745. Press control, Scandinavian 745, flight level 380.
Like I said in the beginning, it's a very nice little city.
Press control identified.
Mas é o que eu te digo, Santi, só vendo qual é a descontinuidade, mas basicamente tu podes limpar essa descontinuidade com uma seed, se for na partida, ou com uma star, se for na chegada, ou apagares literalmente a descontinuidade, se achares que a deves apagar. Mas ela está lá para te deixar voar o avião à mão, entre aspas, não é necessário voares mesmo à mão, para ligares a rota ao teu ponto inicial ou ao teu ponto de chegada. Basicamente a descontinuidade é automatizada para isso. Se eu tivesse ali uma ligação direta entre aquele último ponto e o aeroporto, o teu YouTube, que é este, tem só poses, não consigo fazer um voo normal. Pois é assim, voar um Airbus ou um Boeing, não interessa, mas pronto, voar um Airbus exige alguma prática, não é só aprender a voar no básico, exige mesmo prática, porque há coisas que tu vais-te apercebendo com o tempo, e o tempo é o melhor mestre. Por exemplo, estas questões das descontinuidades, se calhar não vais encontrar muita gente que te explique porquê, porque já a maioria das pessoas que voam Airbus regularmente sabe o que é a descontinuidade e sabe limpá-la. Eu tentei dar-te aqui umas luzes, mas só mesmo vendo exatamente qual é o voo que estás a fazer para poder te ajudar melhor. Tens o meu e-mail aqui na descrição do canal. Se quiseres podes mandar um e-mail e eu dou uma olhada. Mandas-me o teu plano de voo, por exemplo, e o que estás a fazer, eu talvez te ajude. Digo talvez porque eu não sei exatamente qual é o problema e talvez seja uma coisa que me ultrapasse. Não sei se será descontinuidades, não é assim nada de complexo, mas se for necessário também te posso dar algumas dicas, até mesmo procurares ajuda com outros canais, porque existem muita gente que voa. Olha, our autopilot is still having trouble keeping up with time acceleration, so we need to turn off time acceleration momentarily, allow it to stabilize, and then we'll turn it back on. Otherwise we'll be jumping up and down. Now, mind you, it is normal for the autopilot to go up slightly, then go down slightly. Same with speed, go up and down. This is absolutely normal to maintain passenger comfort. And it will do that in real life, but not at this scale. I mean, it was just jumping up and down erratically, and it's not the way we want to fly, not at all. It's very unpleasant.
Scandinavian 745. Contact Paris Control 125.7. Have a good evening.
Central 125.7 Scandinavian 745. Bye bye. Paris Control, Scandinavian 745. Flight level 380.
É assim, eu não sei tudo, não é? Eu gosto de ensinar, há pessoas que não gostam, mas temos que respeitar. Não sei se esse teu camarada está disposto a... eu uso um joystick. Eu uso um stick. Uso o da Thrustmaster, o side stick mesmo da Airbus. Mas é como eu estava a dizer, não deves esperar que todos os youtubers tenham disponibilidade para ensinar. Há pessoas que gostam de ensinar e há outros que fazem as coisas um bocado a correr, mas acredita que todos eles te podem ensinar alguma coisa, nem que seja só olhar, observar. Podes sempre aprender alguma coisa, podes sempre de alguma maneira aprender assimilando, vendo um truque, uma coisa que eles fazem, mesmo que eles não o expliquem. Aprendes sempre qualquer coisa. Eu digo isto por não conheço a pessoa, não sei quem é, mas eu acredito que, enfim, que ensinar não é para todos. Não é que a pessoa não saiba, mas às vezes a pessoa não está para aí virada, ou não tem jeito, ou não é esse o propósito, não é? Eu não me importo. Eu tenho muitos vídeos aqui em que passo mais tempo a explicar do que propriamente a fazer as coisas corretas, e gosto de falhar, eu gosto de errar, gosto de fazer coisas erradas, que é para também ajudar as outras pessoas como tu e outros que chegam aqui e pá, não sabem tudo também, querem aprender e cometem erros, e então é bom que haja alguém que cometa os mesmos erros e que mostre como é que os resolve. Isto é a minha opinião. Olha, se procuras um joystick, eu acho que este Thrustmaster é um bom joystick. Não é muito barato, mas também não é muito caro. Está ali na gama dos 80 euros, se não me engano. Não sei se agora está mais caro. Eu comprei o meu com desconto, mas na altura penso que o PVP era 80 euros, 75, 80. Agora se calhar já está mais caro, não sei. Mas o joystick da Thrustmaster é mesmo o Airbus, o side stick da Airbus, da Thrustmaster. Para mim é a melhor opção para iniciar, para começar a voar. É um bom joystick, encontras com facilidade na Fnac ou noutro. Não sei se tu estás em Portugal, Santi, estou a falar aqui em Portugal. Eu penso que encontras isso facilmente online. Se não tiveres uma Fnac ao pé de ti, ou uma Vorten, é capaz também haver na Vorten. Caso contrário, online também encontras facilmente. Pois, os comandos, os gamepads têm sempre drift, só se forem daqueles de topo, como aqueles do Xbox Elite, ou aqueles mais para Pro Gaming, aqueles da Turtle Beach. As Turtle Beach já não fazem os comandos, mas há aqueles a Razer tem um, que é o Wolverine, acho eu. Depois tens uma série de comandos assim mais pro, mas estes também são mais caros e estás a pagar 100 e tal ou muitos euros por um comando, mais vale comprares um bom joystick. Não sei qual é, Santi, não sei qual é esse joystick. Se estás a falar nesses termos se calhar é um joystick com uma mola forte. Existem vários, eu não conheço todos. Pois, o comando da PS5 tem propensão, o DualShock ou o DualSense tem propensão a causar drift. Aliás, os comandos da PlayStation, do modo geral, são muito maus em termos de qualidade de construção. Aí eu acho que os da Xbox são melhores, mas eu não te vou recomendar comprares um Elite da Xbox, a não ser que jogues muito. Mas eu tenho um Elite e é muito bom. Eu não uso para voar aqui, obviamente, mas uso para jogar e é um bom comando. Tens também o como é que se chama? Tens um Pro, Semi-Pro, Pro da PlayStation, mas eu desconheço. Não sei se é bom ou se é mau. Se for da mesma qualidade que os DualSense, eu já vou no meu quarto DualSense com os meus filhos. Aquilo não dura muito tempo. Portanto, como vês, os comandos da PlayStation não são os melhores. Se for o DualShock durava mais, curiosamente. Eu tive 2 ou 3 DualShock para a PS4 e era um ótimo comando. Eram ótimos comandos, mesmo os básicos. Agora PS5 não, pá, os DualSense são muito mauzinhos. Vamos a passar. We are going through Brussels now. I said Brussels. You hear that? Flip is not here today. Tonight.
Contact Arhus Control 126.475.
Contact Arhus Control 126.475 KLM 689.
Let's go back to 4 times speed. I sometimes need to go back to normal because it starts oscillating like crazy.
Brussels Control, Airhop 88 Bravo Charlie, flight level 370.
Airhop 88 Bravo Charlie, Brussels Control, radar contact.
É assim, eu já uso o Simbrief há muito tempo e eu acho que é essencial. Depende do avião. Este está completamente integrado com o Simbrief, o Fenix, mas há aviões que não estão. Não estão, quer dizer, a maioria está. O que eu digo é que não estão profundamente integrados. Eu aqui não tenho apenas o Flight Plan, eu tenho o Flight Plan, tenho as cartas pré-carregadas, conforme podes aqui ver, se fores aqui, por exemplo, a Start, não em Castro, mas por exemplo em Lisboa, vês aqui a Start, já tenho os planos, já tenho as cartas pré-carregadas para estes 2 aeroportos. Se estiveres a voar no Flight Simulator 2024, tens as cartas liso, que também já vão pré-carregadas. Se tiveres Navigraph, eu prefiro usar Navigraph, mas pronto, é uma questão de preferência. A integração aqui com ele é aqui nesta página, portanto nós carregamos aqui o plano de voo e como tu viste com o Simbrief ele automaticamente diz-me o número de passageiros, a carga e o combustível pré-planeado. Portanto é sempre bom integrar com o Simbrief, até porque o Simbrief depois também dá-te outras coisas, como por exemplo, vou mostrar aqui, vês aqui por exemplo a Weather e consegues via Simbrief, isto é tudo dentro do menu do Simbrief, consegues buscar as cartas meteorológicas, as METARs também, se fores aqui ao plano de voo, ele gera tudo, quer dizer, gera-te aqui estas informações todas do plano de voo, obviamente, depois gera-te aqui também as cartas de meteorologia, podes imprimir um PDF que é o Flight Package todo, se é essencial, não é, se quiseres podes fazer isto tudo à mão, mas acho que o automatismo que o Simbrief te fornece é muito positivo, eu acho que vale sempre a pena ter o Simbrief. Agora, tudo depende. Eu conheço, por exemplo, pilotos reais que voam no simulador, até mesmo para treino pessoal, que simplesmente não querem saber do Simbrief. Fazem tudo à mão, porque eles têm os planos de voo, por exemplo, quem voa na TAP, quem voa numa companhia aérea, consegue gerar os seus planos de voo, ou tem os seus planos de voos antigos, é só carregar para cima do avião e não precisa nunca de usar o tablet sequer. Mas lá está. Eu não sou piloto real, portanto não tenho acesso a esses voos, tenho o Simbrief, hoje ainda por cima, hoje foi feita uma atualização ao Simbrief, nestes dias, em que agora temos planos de voos reais dentro do Simbrief, portanto eles passaram a equipar na Europa também com voos reais, antigamente era só nos Estados Unidos, portanto vale sempre a pena, agora é uma preferência pessoal de cada um. O CEO Route quer dizer Company Route. Depende do avião. Alguns aviões salvam o plano de voo e colocam aqui a possibilidade de tu carregares. Se carregares aqui neste botão aparece-te um menuzinho. Alguns, não sei qual é o que tu tens, qual é o que voas. No fundo é uma funcionalidade para gravar planos de voo no próprio avião. Por exemplo, imagina que voas muito daqui para Paris, né? É sempre o mesmo plano de voo. Tu podes gravar esse plano de voo para poderes pré-carregar. Contudo, se tiveres o Simbrief, aparece aqui um botão que aparece aqui uma informação a laranja para tu poderes carregar. Olha, esqueci-me de fazer o Wind Request. Para poderes requerir a inicialização do plano de voo. Então, Wind Request. Carreguei no Cancel em vez de Insert, ok. Como eu estava a dizer, podes chegar ali e colocar pré-carregar um plano de voo que tenhas salvo. Mas depende dos aviões, nem todos têm essa funcionalidade. Mas se tiveres o Simbrief, basta carregares aqui no botão de Flight Plan Request ou Init Request, assim é que é, e ele carrega-te via Simbrief. Algumas coisas não são carregadas, mas se quiseres ver esse processo é só puxares atrás aqui no vídeo quando acabar, ou mesmo agora se quiseres, e fazes uma... Tu estás a dizer que colocas o plano de voo como, por exemplo, aqui escrevias aqui, por exemplo, LPPT, né? Por exemplo, imagina LPPT e punhas ali por exemplo, barra, podemos pôr este EK, né? Podias pôr assim. Oi? Raios. EK. Assim, né? Descarregavas ali. Como vês, ele diz Not in Database, porque eu não salvei este voo para dentro do avião. Isto geralmente é um pré-carregamento manual, não é manual, mas no fundo do lado esquerdo, no Company Route, é um voo pré-carregado no avião, e do lado direito, geralmente aqui onde aparece Init Request, é um plano de voo via Data Link, ou seja, aí via satélite, se quiseres. Os aviões comunicam com a base de dados da empresa e importam o plano de voo. É preferível ter um plano de voo importado via Data Link do que ter um voo gravado no avião, porque o voo que está gravado no avião é um voo histórico, ou seja, foi criado, imagina, hoje a partir da pista 02 de Lisboa, portanto tenho um plano de voo que me faz sair de Ixida 2 de novembro, vai-me mandar diretamente para Madrid, mas se amanhã os ventos mudarem, eu já tenho partido da pista 20, 20, então se calhar tenho que vir de sul. Se calhar não, tenho mesmo que vir de sul. Tenho que dar a volta, virar pela esquerda para subir então para norte. Já não é o mesmo plano de voo, forçosamente. Já tem que ser alterado. Por isso não é muito aconselhável gravar os planos de voo nos aviões, ou pelo menos gravá-los assim, tipo base de dados, exatamente porque depois o plano de voo pode mudar. Agora, isto tudo é eliminado com o Simbrief, né? O Simbrief acaba por resolver estes problemas todos. We're now going over Holland, and we'll soon go through the final leg and the final waypoint before entering Denmark's airspace. So we're coming up on our final third, final fourth, final fifth of the flight pretty soon. So guys, I'm gonna just finish eating my little dinner and I'll be right back. Santi, faz assim, envia-me o teu plano de voo que tu queres fazer e diz-me qual é o avião com que tu voas, manda-me por e-mail e nós damos uma olhada nisso os dois, está bem? E eu tento ajudar na melhor maneira que eu puder. Se eu não te responder logo, não leves a mal, que eu infelizmente, desde que tenho o meu e-mail aqui, recebo montes de e-mails diários, alguns não são desejados, mas eu vou ter cuidado de responder assim que puder, tá bem? Portanto, manda-me essa informação e eu posso ter certeza que te vou ajudar. Eu só não quero estar-te a dizer coisas aqui agora porque eu não tenho conhecimento. Tens que me explicar o que é que estás realmente a tentar fazer e qual é o avião. É importante saber qual é o avião, qual é o simulador e qual é o avião. Suponho que seja o Flight Simulator, mas qual é? É o 2020 ou é o 2024? E qual é o avião que estás a voar nele? É o Fenix ou é o avião default da Asobo, que também tem um A320? É o FS Labs? É o que for? Pronto. Tenta-me explicar o que é isso e eu vou-te ajudar também, Santi. Vamos fazer assim, que é para. Deixas-me só aqui acabar o que estou a fazer da minha refeição e depois eu vou voltar para aterrar, tá bem? Que assim estamos aqui a falar um bocadinho sem conhecimento e eu não te quero estar a induzir em erro para depois tu também não te sentires frustrado, tá bem? Então venho já. I'll be right back, guys.
Alpine A3 departure room. Contact Brussels Control 125.0. Contact Brussels Control 125.0. Alpine A3 departure room. KLM 999, contact London radar 118.75, bye-bye.
Center on 118.75 KLM 999.
KLM 53 Charlie, contact Brussels Control 125.0, bye-bye.
Contact Brussels Control 125.0 KLM 53 Charlie.
Ryanair 16 Charlie Victor, Amsterdam radar. Expect Ant 1 Alpha, runway 09er.
Expect Ant 1 Alpha, runway 09 Ryanair 16 Charlie Victor.
Scandinavian 745, contact Bremen radar 125.1.
Contact Bremen Radar 125.1 Scandinavian 745. Have a good evening. Bremen Radar, Scandinavian 745. Good evening. Flight level 380.
Scandinavian 745. Bremen radar. Radar contact.
Alright, so let's start prepping our descent. So we are expecting runway 28 left. So we are going to need to go through this side. So I'm guessing, but this is just a wild guess, that we're going to get either Europa or Ibico. as a destination steer point. So I'm gonna set that up for now. Runway 28 left via Ipeco, probably the best. Alright, so we got a discontinuity still, like I was explaining to my friend here, Santi. Let's go to performance. Let's bring our weather data. Oh, I was already there. Whoops, let's accept.
Expect radar vectors, ILS runway 28 left, Scandinavian 745.
That means that they'll give us a descent pretty soon. Let's go to Copenhagen.
Center on 119.43, Scandinavian 745. Copenhagen control, Scandinavian 745, flight level 380.
Scandinavian 745, Copenhagen control, identified.
Let's go down here to Arhus. So we got 34083.
Scandinavian 745, radar vectors, ILS runway 28 left, report ready for descent.
I will tell you when I'm ready for descent.
Radar vectors, ILS runway 28 left, call when ready, Scandinavian 745.
QNH 1023. Standard QNH, and temperature is 04. Bit chilly. So as for the ILS minimums, right there, minimum is 275. This is a 2.75 glide slope, so a little shallow dive, or shallow descent, may I add. And we are in the category C aircrafts. We are expecting some pretty standard RVR. So let's go to 275 as for our barometric altitude. Alright, let's call it ready for descent.
745, approaching our top of descent, ready for lower.
Scandinavian 745, RS landing runway 28 left.
IS, landing runway 28 left, Scandinavian 745.
Scandinavian 745, descend to flight level 140.
Descend to flight level 140, Scandinavian 745.
Alright, let's go 140. I'm just gonna do manage descent for now, and then we'll change to a more controlled descent. Descent checklist, MCDU landing performance reviewed. TCAS set to below. Below. Sorry. Yeah, below. Done. Approach briefing. She doesn't want to talk to me. Navates reviewed. NTIs not required. EFIS constraints set. Seatbelt signs are on. Descent checklist above the line complete. So you can see here there's a discontinuity, just like I was explaining to Santi. We are going to require, or we are going to get radar vectors, so we're not going to get too worried about that.
Copenhagen Control, Lufthansa 876, good evening, flight level 340.
Lufthansa 876, Copenhagen control, radar contact.
We have performed our checklist above the line. That means that we are waiting for the 10,000 feet or the transition, whichever comes first, to continue our checklist. So we have our approach chart right here. Oops, sorry. We have our approach chart right here, so that we go. There's a little plane there. What's the plane doing there? We're definitely not near. Oops. So that's Copenhagen right there. Our little town of Arhus. It's right over here. This used to allow to scroll, but now apparently only allows to zoom in and out, which isn't ideal. So there's the city of Arhus. The airport is on the other side. You actually have to take, I believe there's a train, but I took a bus back to Arhus. There's a big port here that connects to Sweden and also Copenhagen. So this is Sweden or Norway, not sure. Sorry, Sweden. There's right there. There's a Swedish line. So yeah, this is not ideal. I wish they brought back the little hand scroll, because this is nice, but not ideal. So let's just keep up with the plane. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, much better. Oh, it's following the plane. So we are descending. We're already in Danish airspace. We're coming out of flight level 380, descending to flight level 140. And we are currently at 34, flight level 340, 34,000 feet. It's been a pleasant flight. As you can see, time flies. We're 3 hours and 11 minutes since we removed our chocks, and we are 3 hours flying in. So we are probably not gonna win time. That means that we're still gonna be delayed by 16 minutes, but considering all the stuff that I need to do before flight, and considering I'm doing this solo without a helping hand of a co-pilot, it's actually going well. Thank you all for being here. Let's see if this landing goes as planned. This little blue snake here, it's telling me where my current descent profile is going to meet the performance on the managed descent. So it's about to meet there. So it's like I'm descending at my rate, but the performance should be a little above. So it's trying to keep up, and it will intercept the managed descent rate right over there, about 25 miles, 15 miles away. It's not important to follow managed descent unless you really want to go to be a company man. Most of the times pilots prefer to descend in open descent or manual descent. Today I'm going to try to manual descent as soon as I get a new descent altitude. Remember that you're coming up so high, you can't really go down too fast, otherwise it's a matter of trading, right? Like you're trading altitude with speed and vice versa. You think so, Mirsha? Here's hoping. Red nose, that's the call sign for the Norwegian aircraft. They do have a sense of humor. The planes do look like a red nose. I call them the flying lipstick because they do look like a lipstick. And it would really cool, even more humorous, if they would call themselves lipstick on the call sign. That would be cool. I don't know if many people would find that amusing though. I certainly would. So where are we? We are still descending over Denmark. As you can see, we're halfway around the country. We still need to go all the way down here, and I think they will give us some vectors to go all the way over here. So we might pass Arhus and then turn right and then left to make our approach. That's at least what I'm predicting. Because after Lutus, we have a discontinuity and nothing else. So when that happens, my heading will go to direct mode. So we need to induce drag here. So one thing you need to remember is that the Airbus A320 is very lousy in providing drag. It's so aerodynamically designed that when you need to decelerate, it's going to have a hard time doing so. So after we intercepted our managed descent, as you can see, now we're on the right profile to achieve 14,000 feet up ahead, or flight level 140. Well, the plane helps, you know. The plane helps make a better landing, because the A319 is a very sweet spot of a plane. It's not as big as an A320 or an A321. It's really small, and that really gives us some like a sporting style to it. We have also, by Fenix, we have the winglet version, the sharklet version, which is very rare. It only flies mostly in China and the United States. We don't get to see it that much in Europe, I think. I've never seen one in real life. So it's basically an A319 with sharklets, but it also has a better engine, so a faster, more oomph of an engine. And the guys, the people that fly it in real life say it's a wonderful airplane. And I bet it is, because it's got the small size of a 319 with an extra engine. That engine actually was equipped on the 320s and 321s, so it's got that little extra power. Oh, speed brake's still out, sorry about that. Always remember to retract your speed brakes if you don't want to spend that extra fuel. But the ECAM is kind enough to remind us that the speed brake's still out. There's no actual harm for the plane, because the plane has protections, so it will never fail like miserably, like the spoilers will be ripped out of the plane. That will never happen. But what happens is that the engine will run up to compensate the lack of speed. So you don't want that, because you'll be spending more fuel than you want to. We're still waiting for the descent checklist below the line. We're not there yet. Some clouds over Scandinavia, so over Denmark more precisely. That's Aarhus up ahead. Aarhus is the biggest small city in the world. There's an old Viking village there. Well, it's a recreation, but it's pretty. It's so pretty. I loved going there. I really miss Aarhus. I wish I could go back there one day. I went there on the business trip. Stayed there 2 weeks. Alright.
Heading 070 Scandinavian 745.
070. So we're back to bring out the knob to me so I can select my heading. And as I thought,
Scandinavian 745, contact Arhus approach 119.28.
Contact Arhus approach 119.28 Scandinavian 745.
alright,
Arhus Scandinavian 745, flight level 152 with runners.
Scandinavian 745 Arhus approach. Good evening. QNH 1023. Expect radar vectors for ILS.
QNH 1023.
QNH 1023, expect radar vectors for ILS runway 28 left Scandinavian.
So you see,
745.
this is our runway. This is the runway right here.
Scandinavian 745. Descend to flight level 050.
050.
Descent to flight level 050 Scandinavian 745.
Let's make it a more steep descent for now. So I want to get there first. So the runway is right here, and the radar vector is going to bring us all the way up here and then turn left, probably to Arupa. instead of Ibeco, but we'll see. Boa, boa Santi, ainda bem. Ainda bem. Bom voo. Santi is telling me that he's managed to fix his problem on his A320, so he's also performing his own flight. So happy flight, Santi. So I'm going to turn on my track IR now. Here we go. There's Arhus right there beneath us. We passed. The airport is somewhere over there. Actually, somewhere over there. So, not long now, guys. Thank you all for being here to the very last moment. Can't go wrong with the Fenix. I don't remember the last time Fenix let me down, so famous last words, right? It's gonna fail miserably now. Let's hope not. Looking for the airport. Some clouds, so it's probably gonna be hard to see, but I think it's somewhere over there. Somewhere. Maybe it's that blob of yellow light over there, right in the very center. Could be. Just waiting for the vectors. They're still descending. Flight level 050. That means the transition altitude is probably the same as Lisbon, 4,000 feet. We'll see. Still can't see the airport. We're almost. Yeah, that's gotta be it. That's gotta be the airport right there. Because I do remember there was a big road going directly to. It's like a highway. It's probably. Yeah, that's it. That's the airport right there. Man, I miss this little airport, this town. There was only one. When I went there, there was only one discotheque, so like night activity was confined to one single disco and a bar. There was like a Caribbean bar there. That was so cool. I was young.
Scandinavian 745, descend to flight level 040.
040.
Level 040, Scandinavian 745.
So remember, guys, 10,000 feet. Wing lights on. Descent checklists below the line. Below 10,000 feet, seatbelt sights are on. Landing lights. Whoa, landing lights, yeah, on, and wing lights are on. So this glare here is from the landing lights.
Scandinavian 745, descend to 3,000 feet, QNH 1023.
All right. 3,000 feet.
QNH 1023, Scandinavian 745.
Let's descend a little faster now.
Scandinavian 745, 10 left, heading 025.
10 left, heading 025, Scandinavian 745.
025. Let's also reduce our speed to 1. That's manageable to induce some flaps.
Scandinavian 745, descend to 2,000 feet.
Descend to 2,000 feet, Scandinavian 745.
Scandinavian 745, 4 miles from TF28 out, turn left, heading 295, maintain 2,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Clear is runway 28 left.
Turn left, heading 295, 2,000 feet until established. Cleared ALS runway 28 left, Scandinavian 745.
Alright, this is gonna be a little tight to my taste, but so what's the So the course is 277. Here we go. Oh, there's a runway. We overshot it. No biggie. No biggie. Let's carry on turning. Autopilot off.
Scandinavian 745, contact tires tower 118.53.
Contact tower 118.53, Scandinavian 745. Have a good evening. Arhus Tower, Scandinavian 745, ILS runway 28 left.
Scandinavian 745, Arhus Tower, 1340, true runway 28 left.
So let's set altimeter.
Runway 28 left, cleared to land. Scandinavian 745.
2,500.
2,500 check. Alright, I think we're very unstable. I don't think we're gonna make it. Yeah. Very unstable on that approach. That's the problem with the radar vectors. With beyond ATC at least. So instead of doing a disgrace approach as I normally do when trying to fit in, let's just go around.
Scandinavian 745, going around.
Scandinavian 745, go around. Fly runway centerline, maintain 2,000 feet.
On the go. Fly runway centerline, maintain 2,000 feet. Scandinavian 745.
Scandinavian 745, contact Arhus approach 119.28.
Contact Arhus approach 119.28, Scandinavian 745. Arhus, Scandinavian 745, 1,800 feet.
Scandinavian 745, welcome back. Continue.
Continue, Scandinavian 745.
I mean, I think I could do it, but let's not take a chance. Alright, so 277. No, don't descend. Yeah, I know. So going around, too unstable on that approach. Yeah, safety first, Smirsha. Boa, Santi, continua. feet as briefed. Can't be as bad as my flight with 737, that's for sure. Still waiting for the vectors.
Scandinavian 745, turn left heading 200.
Turn left heading 200, Scandinavian 745.
200. The problem was in, I think, Mirsha, my descent rate, I set it to 1,400 because I didn't want to accelerate too much, but beyond ATC doesn't give you realistic vectors sometimes, and it just tells you to descend pretty rapidly. And if I ever did what beyond ATC sometimes asks me, speed check flaps 1, I would probably get an overspeed. So between descending at a normal rate or just overspeeding, I prefer to descend at a normal rate. So we're now flying with just headings and altitudes, following ATC, hoping ATC knows what it's doing. Speed limit exceeded before, so that message will stay up for a moment. So we can see our little plane is over here going south, then we'll probably turn around and start again on yet another approach. I don't know why it's telling me to go this far, because there aren't many planes doing this.
Turn left heading 100. Expect further clearance in about 2-3 miles.
2-3 miles.
Heading 100 Scandinavian 745.
So we go heading 100 for 23 miles, and then we'll get another clearance. It also told me that I was clear for the ILS right almost hitting the center line, so it was too tight. And remember, I'm doing this solo because this lady here doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm talking about you. What are you gonna do about it? Huh? That's what I thought. Oh, Trichyar died. Not a good time for it to die. Let me just center this while I connect. I have a battery charged Trichyar, that's why sometimes this happens mid-flight. But I'll turn on my charger and we'll go back to it. And it's alive! It's Betsy's curse. I know it. She's cursing me. Yeah, look the other way. She hates me. She does. So, here's our little plane here going this way, and then 23 miles later, we'll go left to the approach. This is a very, I wish I could show you, I can show you briefly on the daytime so you guys can see. It's a very beautiful place, very green. Look at that. So green, so luscious. Look at that. This lake here, this is not a lake actually, it's the ocean, it's salty. There are some beaches over there, very cold water. But it's a beautiful place, lots of woods, woodland. There's some isolated houses, you can actually see some of them. It's a beautiful place to be and to live. Unfortunately, hello, back to real time. Oh my god, what time is it? Oh, 21, yeah, something, 21:01. 21, alright. It's a beautiful place to live. Unfortunately, like I was saying, Europe right now is not the best place. Ok, senti, olha, não sei o que dizer. Não sei o que dizer. Agora estou aqui. Yeah, but I mean, in system time, I need to put it on system time. I usually, when I press real time here, it goes back to real time, but for some reason, it's not. I think we passed those 23 miles. What do you guys think? Yeah, I had to go around, guys. Sorry about that, but I don't like it. I hate it when it happens, but safety first, I suppose. We're waiting for the radar vectors to turn in for yet another approach. An attempt on an approach. We were only clear for flight level for 2,000 feet, so that's where I'm staying right now. I just don't like flying over the water like that. And we are over the ocean, there's nothing down there. Come on, give us a clearance to turn. The runway is way back already, it's somewhere over there. Come on. Santi, podes fazer rewind deste vídeo. Quando eu terminar a live, podes fazer rewind e vês o vídeo do início e vês como é que eu faço. Se quiseres, amanhã não creio que amanhã consiga fazer live, mas talvez no domingo. Eu não consigo ser tão regular como desejava, porque eu tenho alguns compromissos na minha vida pessoal e não consigo estar aqui a horas pré-marcadas, mas eu tenciono no domingo estar aqui outra vez. Portanto, se quiseres.
Scandinavian 745, turn left heading 070.
070.
Heading 070,
A hora,
Scandinavian
depende.
745.
Eu no domingo geralmente faço de manhã, quando consigo. Tenho tempo. Não costumo fazer de tarde. Portanto, quando digo manhã, tipo 10, 9, 10 horas por aí. 9 da manhã, 10 da manhã, hora de Lisboa. Mas não te consigo confirmar agora. And now we're waiting for the next turn, probably to Urupa. Come on.
Scandinavian 745, turn left heading 025.
Turn left, heading 025, Scandinavian 745.
There you go. Pronto, então, se quiseres, assim que acordas, para abrir a pestana, vês aqui ter, em vez de me voar. Provavelmente vou levar o 340, mas é praticamente a mesma coisa que o 20. Se depois quiseres perguntar alguma coisa, estás à vontade.
Scandinavian 745, 8 miles from CF28L, turn left, heading 310, maintain 2,000 feet until established, cleared ILS runway 28 left.
Turn left, heading 310, 2,000 feet until established, cleared ILS runway 28 left, Scandinavian 745.
Here we go. So, turn on the approach. Let's go to manage speed for now. It's now going to reduce to the approach speed, 123 knots. That's our VAP. Right there, 123 knots. So, about 10 knots less than a standard A320, which is normal because this is a smaller plane. Again, let's perform our landing checklist. So we are going for flaps. Oh crap, completely forgot. Config flaps 3. And we got our speed brakes armed. We got our auto brake set to low. We are going to wait for gear down and flaps landing config 3. So for now, speed check flaps 2. Cool characteristics of the IAE engine is that you'll have ignition on the takeoff and landing phases. Alright, let's turn left here to help it squeeze in for the ILS. For some reason, it deleted my flight plan. Oh.
Scandinavian 745, contact Arhus Tower 118.53.
Contact Tower 118.53.
Flaps 3.
Scandinavian 745. Arhus Tower, Scandinavian 745. ILS runway 28 left.
Scandinavian
A
745.
lot more space.
Wind 3303, runway 28 left, clear to land.
Runway 28
Distance.
left, cleared to land. Scandinavian
Clear to land,
745.
gear down. What the heck is going on here? Hey, wait. What's going on here? Why is it accelerating like crazy? Autopilot off. Alright, so it cleared my flight plan. I don't have to, I wish I had an extra set of hands so I could reinsert the landing information, but that's not going to happen. So landing system is messed up. It's not tuning in for the ILS. I'm going to pause here. So guys, don't try this in a real aircraft. So what the heck's going on here? So it's messed up. See, I can't even get like an input for the flight plan. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to land manual because there's no point in flying like this. Yeah, trying to fly on auto. We got a good visibility. Landing checklist, EFIS as required, ND terrain as required. Gear down in green. Exterior lights are all on. Stand by, they're not. Now they're on. A little low. This plane is a joy to fly. Flying fully manual. That's why I'm a little low on the glide path. But as you can see, my glide slope is not cooperating. Info has been deleted. We're still gonna land.
500.
500 check. Probably not gonna get a minimum call out, but we'll call it in anyway. Bit high.
100 above. Minimum
Continue. Bit high.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Bouncy. No reverse again. Ah, there it is.
Scandinavian 745, exit right at Zulu.
Right at Zulu.
Right at Zulu.
Auto brake off.
Scandinavian 745.
Could have been better. I've done better, for sure. Gonna need the airport chart here. So there's Yankee. Not this one. So the Zulu one is this one right here. And we're going to need to backtrack through the opposite runway. So let's clear the aircraft. Star eye up here. There's Zulu right there. I think I know what happened. I'll explain in a moment why I had that crazy behavior. Alright, runway exit procedures. Let's vacate here. After landing checklist. Landing lights off, nose wheel lights to taxi, flaps up, set. Spoilers retracted and disarmed, weather radar to off. Predictive windshield off, decast to off. Terrain off is already off. Wing, NTI is not required. Engine, DI is not required. APU bleed. Start APU.
Scandinavian 745, request taxi to assigned gate.
Scandinavian 745, ramp 5 taxi via Zulu. Hold short runway 28 left.
Ramp 5 via Zulu. Hold short runway 28 left.
Is this
Scandinavian
runway 28
745.
left? Yep, it is.
Scandinavian 745, holding short 28 left.
It's actually 10 left, but
745, cross runway 28 left Alpha. Continue taxi via Zulu. Hold short runway 28 left.
Cross runway 28 left at Alpha. Continue taxi via Zulu. Hold short runway 28 left. Scandinavian
I'm not sure
745.
it knows what it wants. Because it's telling me to do the exact same taxi. It told me to turn right at... Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it. Oh, stand by. Because this one is a doozy. Yeah, this one is a doozy. It wants me to go here, so it wants me to go around here and back here. Alright. Let's go. Apparently this runway here is not in use. I'm not sure who's at fault here. Is it the chart or...
Scandinavian 745, cross runway 28 right at the Yankee. Continue taxi via. Hold short runway 28 right.
Cross runway 28 right at Yankee. Continue taxi via. Hold short runway 28 right.
Not sure this is the right way, but I am going to... I'm following beyond ATC map. So So it's telling me to do this weird maneuver here. And we already have our APU, so single engine taxi now. So we need to go on this merry-go-round. Cross runway again to the other side. Hopefully. I think this is a military apron if I'm not mistaken. Because our civilian gate is on the other side. But it did tell me to cross the exit runway through the right. I'm not making stuff up. Não, este é o Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. É o 2024. Turn this off now. After landing checklists complete. So we're just gonna go with it. That's the proper taxiway that I should have taken instead of going to making this merry-go-round thing. So we are clear to cross. Don't mind me. And then turn left, and we need to request the crossing again because this particular taxiway we were in does not connect.
Scandinavian 745, cross runway 28 left at Alpha. Continue taxi via. Hold short runway 28 left.
Cross runway 28 left at Alpha. Continue taxi via. Hold short runway 28
I wish there was a way
Scandinavian 745.
to show you the map beyond ATC map.
745, cross runway 28 left at Alpha. Continue taxi via Echo Alpha.
Cross runway 28 left at Alpha. Continue taxi via Echo Alpha. Scandinavian 745.
Left here. Because this is not on the charts. That other side, because that's a military apron. We should not be able to go through that apron. Only the south ones are civilian, but you know, beyond ATC doesn't give a crap. And now we're gonna need to cross back to 28 ahead to get to the gate. Beyond ATC tem esta aplicaçãozita que tu instalas no 2024 e permite ver as comms e interagir. So there's another military apron to the right. We'll turn left and then it will be a straight in to the gate. And our gate will be just the one on the rightmost of the platform. So twice we went around today, once in the air and the other on the ground. Took the scenic tour on the ground. Anything can happen in this channel in my flights. So because of this, we're about 26, maybe more, 20 to 30 minutes late in terms of the schedule. We should be arriving at 3:30 flight time. We are arriving at 3:50 something, and it was still taxiing. Oh, can't go that way. Right, where are we? I don't want to overshoot this again. First left, so whenever we see a left turn, we'll take it. A little more speed. So we are running on the SETI single engine taxi in. We turn off engine number 1. So our gate is right over there where those other planes are at. It's hard to see from here. Arhus is a very pretty town. Airport is very cozy. Tem Lisboa, Porto, sim, da MK Studios, e tem Madrid, acho que não tem. Curiosamente, Barajas acho que não tem. Acho que não há Barajas para... Não sei se é o de Barajas que não há para o 2024 ou se eu é que não o comprei, mas eu acho que é uma dessas duas coisas. O que eu tenho é o do Barcelona. Gosto muito de Barcelona. Alright, left hand turn here. There you go. This is a small plane. Can take things gingerly. We are clear to cross. And our gate is right up front. If GSX didn't work. So what I said earlier is incorrect. I said the gates would be in the south, but what I meant was the taxiways are at south. So when we landed, we should have taken a left turn and not a right turn like you told us to on Zulu. And we can also have departed on Yankee. There we go. So our gate is up front. Let's see if I can find it visually. We got a Ryanair plane. Where doesn't Ryanair don't fly? Ryanair flies everywhere, it seems. Alright, there's our gate, right there. Is GSX working? That's $1 million question. No, it is not. Yeah, so loaded flight plan does not match the one on Simbrief. This is bullcrap. So, yeah, so gate 5, ramp 5 with APs is this one. No, follow me. There it is. Now let's go in. So GSX is completely messed up, which is unfortunate. I may need to reinstall it or something, not sure. The issues began with the A340, not because of the A340, but it began by the same time. It's like FS Dream Team just gave up trying, I guess. Alright, let's line up. This is the APIS, infamous APIS. I don't really like it that much because it's like a mirror system. Doesn't really work that well. Oh, we got 2 APIS. Too far? You didn't even tell me to brake. Oh well. Can always do this.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
No, we cannot. Alright. So parking brake set. AP running. Parking checklist in a moment. Commence deboarding. Hello? Alright, now start the boarding, please. Of course, need to do this.
The boarding requested.
Here it comes, parking checklist, parking brake is set. Nav aids to off. AFCU reset, it's already been reset. Flight director 1 and 2, that was quite helpful. Off. Dome light as required. Let's turn it on so you can see Betsy a little bit better. Hello, Betsy. Humor, as usual. Display brightness set, integrated and floodlights off. APU master. Do we have external power? We do have the external power. APU master. Master switch to off. Emergency exit lights to off. Seatbelt signs. Let's keep this no smoking on. Seatbelt signs to off. External lights to off. So wing light off. These one will remain. All these lights are off. Cruise supply to off. And let's turn on ground control. Ground control to Major Tom. Right.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Cockpit door to open. Still no passenger ghost plane. Parking checklist complete. Alright guys, I'm not gonna do the securing the aircraft because this has been extended way too long, more than I desired. Not my best flight, but I mean the flying bit went well. What didn't go well was the final turn in for the approach. It wasn't really my fault, but I don't like to put blames on aircraft systems that, or you know, add-ons or anything of the sort. I prefer to just believe that I could have done better. So let's exit the aircraft for now. This was the beautiful Airbus A319 Retro from Scandinavian Airlines. Back in the day when planes were smartly painted with taste. I mean, there are still some tasteful paints out there, but you know, these were the days. That's what I'll say. I love retro liveries. You know me. I love TAP Portugal Retro. I love all these airplanes retro liveries. Is the engine still running? No. Look at that fan. It's going crazy. Both fans are crazy. Look at that. There's not that much wind. It's gotta be a bug. If the fans were rolling like that, this would be a hazard for a ground crew. Look at that. Still going. This could be like a motoring thing. I'm not sure. Could be a characteristic of the IAE engines. So maybe I'm making a fool of myself, but it doesn't look normal. Anyway, guys, like I said, thank you for coming. Thank you so much, José, Mircha, Andrew, Santi. Não vou fazer mais voos hoje não. Este era o voo que eu tinha a fazer. Agora o próximo voo vai sair daqui de Arhus para outro ponto. Provavelmente vou para Sul. Ainda vou ver qual é o sítio para onde vou. Não sei qual é o avião que vou levar também é uma decisão que faço depois mais à frente. O que interessa é que agora vamos descansar, que eu bem preciso. Tive que voar com algumas reticências. Thank you all for coming again. Really appreciate you pressing that like button, subscribing of course, and for those that donate, really thank you for your donations. You're the ones keeping this channel running. So thank you all for being with me. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you next time in the pale blue sky. Bye bye.
I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the